Welcome, everybody, to All About the Girls, the podcast. Thanks for joining us this month because we have a special treat. This is not just an interview with one amazing woman, but we have sisters Shirley, Deb, and Connie from the Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I appreciate it so much.
Well, thank you. It's great.
Yeah.
It's good.
So
all good.
I know it's a little tougher for those on audio, our main audience, to have all four of us on the pod. So I'm going to have each of you introduce yourselves so we can start to identify those voices with those names. Sister Connie, you want to start?
I'm Sister Connie. I'm a poor handmaid of 34 years, and I grew up in the region. I'm a region rat. I'm from East Chicago.
Okay, perfect. Well said. Next up.
Sister Deb Davis, and I also am a poor handmaid of Jesus Christ. Right now I serve on our council with Sister Shirley, and I have been in the congregation. I've just celebrated 52 years.
Oh my gosh, great, congrats.
Mm-hmm. I also grew up in the region. I was born in Chicago, but grew up in Hammond, Hessville. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. Sister Shirley?
I'm Sister Shirley, poor handmaid of Jesus Christ. I grew up in southern Illinois, across the river from St. Louis.
Okay,
in
wow.
Belleville, Illinois. And I've been a poor handmaid for 53 years. And I'm the province leader. We call it provinces, our units in our congregation internationally. So I'm the province leader for the United States Sisters here.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. I'm so excited to have you. Working with y'all through the years, I've learned a ton about the Poor Handmaids and all the work that you do, but I think publicly there's tons of people that could know tons more. And of course, we know that that's a big kind of umbrella, and all that you do underneath it is incredible. So I want to dive in and talk a little bit about that. So tell us a little bit about Poor Handmaids as a whole and kind of what all that means.
That's great. I'm excited to do that.
All right.
So we in the United States province are part of a much bigger group. We are in 9 countries. We are on 5 continents. And we have about 500 sisters, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. In the United States, we're 50-some. So a much smaller group here. And we're actually only 11% of the whole group.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
So the other countries are very large.
Are growing, I should say, yes. We, in the past, have been mostly focused on the work, the ministries, the presence have been mostly in the upper northern hemisphere.
Okay.
And we're seeing now a growth and a shifting toward the global south for our future of our congregation.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. So I said we were in 9 countries, and we are pretty much focused on our services, but it's not just about what we do, but it's who we are.
Well
and
said.
that's an essential piece of who we are.
Yeah.
And we are in service-oriented, but we are also focused on living the life of a congregation sister. Is the Poor Handmaids, is that of we take 3 vows of our commitments.
Okay.
And those vows are poverty, and that's not living in just the poverty, but also focusing our service with those who are vulnerable,
Okay.
marginalized people. And we also take the vow of celibacy, and somebody says, does that mean you can't get married? That's exactly what it means. But
Okay.
it's much more than that. It's really focusing our energies and our time on our services and who we are. And then obedience. Well, in this day and age, it's hard to find groups of people that want to be obedient to anything. And so,
You're not wrong.
and in the past, it really did mean obedient to a superior.
Sure.
But now it means obedience to the call of the Holy Spirit. And where is God leading? We're leading me as a person and leading us as a congregation. So I don't know what else you'd like me to say.
No, I think
about
that's beautiful and well said. And that service mentality, it seems like that's all enveloping for your goals and who you are as sisters, it sounds like. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's who we are as sisters. So
Great.
it is about doing, but
Sure.
it's also about being. And so we're learning more and more from our elder sisters who are much older than
She said, I'm 22, so.
I'm pretty old, but we have others that are older than us. And so we also focus our energies on that sense of presence. It's not all just about do, but also what it means to be present to the people And in Donaldson, we have quite a few sisters, and a number of us are elders. And I like using that word instead of elderly, because when I think of elderly, I think of old folks.
Yeah,
decrepit.
the
When you
feeble comes to mind, and
Yeah.
you're not saying that. You're just saying elder, and that
And when you think of
that
elder,
experience
it means
level.
experience. It usually means wise.
Absolutely,
These are our elders.
absolutely.
And we're trying to shift our thinking of ourselves, but also for the people who live and work with us. So we have quite a few sisters that really require some care, and so we have a number of caregivers, and we're also shifting that thinking into care partners. So those who are alongside of our sisters who are vulnerable, who might need assistance, they're really partners with us.
Okay, well said. And Sister Shirley, I know we had talked off camera a little bit about the ministries you have under that umbrella. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, we have quite a few and very diverse ministries. We have a number of ministries right on the site at Donaldson where our main center is.
Yeah, so the center at Donaldson is kind of that main in the U.S., correct?
in the U.S.
It's the
hub.
main hub in the U.S.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
great.
the hub. It's where our congregational offices are. But also there we have an 800-acre beef and grain farm.
I've had a tour. It's absolutely beautiful and incredible.
Yeah. We have Lindenwood, which is a retreat and conference center. We have Moontree, which is a spirituality, arts, and environment
It's gorgeous.
center.
Absolutely.
We have Maria Center Apartments for seniors. And we've just added on and doubled the size of the number of apartments. We just completed some new renovations, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's
And a new
fantastic.
person moving in this weekend.
Okay, already. Great.
On Saturday, yeah. And the college, we're partnering with Marian University in Indianapolis, so they have a site also at our center as well. So we're in partnership with them with that. And then it's the home for the home base for our sisters in the United States. But beyond that, we have two other ministries. Sojourner Truth House, which is a ministry for homeless women and children. They have their overnight shelter with this Mother Teresa's sisters. There's a shelter for them there. But during the day, then they come to our center, and we help them in all things that they might need. So getting connected with the services that they need, how to get them out of homelessness, if they have any kind of diagnoses or addictions or those kinds of things, assisting them through the system.
Yeah, ensuring they're
Helping
cared
them-
for.
Yes. Yeah, helping them with job orientation and placement. And how does that all work? How do you get into the workforce?
Absolutely.
Do you have the clothes you need, and to have professional clothes available so they can have an interview and get a job? And then we eventually help them into their own apartments and try to get them really out of homelessness. We've just started a transitional housing program as well. So these are for women 18, 23 to 25 who are out of foster care because they've aged out, and then where do they go from there? So we've started a program for them as well.
Incredible.
A number of the women, if I may,
Please.
a number of the women there have also become entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Okay.
They
Oh,
have
yes.
developed their skills
Incredible.
enough that they say, I can do this myself.
And what I've probably learned in my many years here at Great News is there are so many incredible nonprofits. The services are there, but what we find is that the left hand sometimes doesn't reach the right hand, and so they don't know. Those in need don't know about the services, and the services aren't finding those in need. And so this is such a great kind of help to that, to help tie up those loose ends for those folks that in need, and fully utilizing these services that are out there, but you got to know before you can use them.
A lot of people think, well, homeless women and children mean, oh, they've been living on the street. Not true.
Right?
There are those who are homeless that find themselves homeless.
Yeah.
They have had individuals with master's degrees that find themselves homeless
Yeah.
because a whole variety of issues
Absolutely.
that crash down upon them.
Yeah.
You know, so how do we help any woman who is in need in that regard? You know, so Sojourner Truth just does amazing work, and we're always hopeful that it continues, and
Yes.
that we just had our Sojourner Walk, and they made their goal. They exceeded their goal. Yay. So we're really
Congrats.
excited. And then the other ministry that we continue to provide is it had been called Health Visions Midwest.
Okay.
It is recently rebranded because they've done a whole reprogramming, refocus, and it's now called Healthways Alliance. So
Okay.
what are the ways in health that we can align with other organizations? And their predominant work right now is educating community health workers to get out there and
Okay.
assist the community with needs that they might have.
Same thing, just trying to put the left hand and the right hand together,
Right.
making sure they're talking, making sure those needs are known and that the outlets are there
Exactly.
and known as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
And so for
Wonderful.
individuals, men and women, children, also they do a lot of programming with how do you stay healthy. So they do a whole heart program because heart disease is
Absolutely.
so high,
Yeah.
in the United States. And just healthy eating, healthy foods.
Yes.
How do you get that? And trying to promote all of that. So that's the work that they do.
Oh,
So
lovely.
we're just really excited. And there's an office in Fort Wayne and one in Highland.
Oh, lovely. Okay. And same thing, what great areas to have that in, because I maybe grew up rural and full of cornfields and all those things, but if you're growing up in Hammond, maybe you don't see that and you don't get the knowledge of a garden in your backyard and the fresh vegetables and what that looks like and what to eat and how to eat it, candidly. Like, I don't know what do I do with an eggplant? And I think it's just all of those little things that could help someone stay healthy, get healthy, be healthy if they have the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's lovely. And Sister Connie, I know we've got a big anniversary, so tell us a little bit about the celebration you've got going on this year.
All right, so the Poor Handmaids are celebrating our 175th anniversary from the founding of our congregation in 1851 by Saint Katherina Kasper. She was just canonized a saint in 2018, which
Okay.
was a very exciting event that we all got to go to.
So for those that don't know what that means, tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, first of all, she was a young, very poor peasant girl who lived on a farm with her parents in Germany, in a very tiny village that is still there. And she lived a poor life, but she was very in touch with the spirit and always listened to that still small voice inside, and knew that she always wanted to do something to help others. So living that life of service as we try to follow in her footsteps today. And so she did marvelous work in her life, and to make a long story short, she was first beatified, which means you're called blessed, and that was in the 1970s.
Okay.
But then in 2018, she was canonized a saint by Saint Francis, along with what made it really special was with Oscar Romero, who was Archbishop in El Salvador, and was assassinated when he was saying Mass one day when he was
Wow.
raising the Eucharist in consecration, and then also with Pope Paul VI, who had beatified her. So that was really unique that happened, that they were canonized together. But so now she's a saint, and which was itself an incredible experience to be
I can imagine.
in St. Peter's Square with Pope Francis before he died. So we're celebrating. We have lots of things going on all year round. We started our opening celebration on March 25th, which was the Annunciation, when the angel Gabriel announced to Mary that she was going to have a son and name him Jesus. And she said, "Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord, be it done unto me according to your will."
Okay.
And so that's where we get our name from, Poor
Okay.
Handmaids of Jesus Christ. And so we've
I
been
don't know
having...
that I've heard that story. That's beautiful. Okay, I love to know
So,
that.
yeah, and so we've had celebrations already, but a lot more events are in store for us yet.
Good.
And our major event is August 2nd
Okay.
at our mother house in Donaldson, which is just about 45 minutes straight down 30 from here.
Yeah, easy to get there.
Very
Gorgeous.
easy.
I think everybody needs to take a visit at
They
least
call it
once.
the
Gosh, I
cathedral
love
in the
it.
country.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah, so that is August 2nd, and Bishop Rhodes from the Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend will be celebrating. It's 11 o'clock on
Okay.
August 2nd.
And is it ticketed? Can we just show up? How does that work?
Yeah, it's an open,
open.
celebration,
Okay.
and there's a reception afterwards.
Okay.
And you can find all the information of all of our events on our website, which is Poor Poor Handmaids HANDMAIDS.org.
Okay, perfect.
All of our events are listed on there.
Okay.
Some other fun things that we have happening are on September 20th, we're having an international intercultural concert on our lawn.
Oh, fun.
So we have a gospel band, a country band, a mariachi band, a polka band, and then we have some of our sisters who are with us from Nigeria, Kenya, and India who will be doing some dancing from their countries and so on.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, so that will be a lot of fun as well.
Absolutely.
That's at 3:00 on the 20th.
Okay.
One of our sisters, Sister Judith Diltz, who was our general leader the last 6 years before, she just finished last year. She was in Germany for 6 years, and she is well versed in the history of the life of Saint Katherina, and she's going to be doing a presentation at the Marshall County Historical Museum in Plymouth about her life and the first 4 women that started the community with her.
Wow.
And so that's on November 6th. And it's a brown bag lunch.
Okay.
So you just
Fun.
pack your lunch, come to
Yeah.
the museum there, the historical museum, and have lunch with her while she does her presentation about the life of St. Katherina and these 4 companions.
Oh, amazing.
And then there's all kinds of other things too.
I was going to say, you've got a lot going on. Okay.
Yes.
So probably everybody just go check the website, find one of the ones that you can make, because this
Yeah.
is going to be a cool kind of end of year, full kind of last half of the year celebrations
There's
throughout.
the Thanksgiving Mass on Thanksgiving Day, and our closing prayer service will be on December 30th.
And your
But-
Christmas program is always incredible as well, and just beautiful. It's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, this year we're not doing the Messiah, but there's going to be some kind of winter program that
Okay.
Andrew Jennings, our liturgist, is keeping secret for right now. It's going to
Even
be
better.
a surprise
Okay.
winter concert.
It's a
Don't
surprise
know what
for
it
us
is yet.
too.
Yeah, so it's a very exciting time for all of us, and we're just so grateful to all the people in the area, and even as far Chicago, everywhere that people come from to celebrate with us, and who have walked with us all these years. We call them our partners in the work of the Spirit.
Okay.
And we've all the people that we've worked with in hospitals and schools. We've been educators, we've been nurses, we've been social workers, and so on and so forth. So down the line, we've just had so many wonderful people that have blessed us over the years, and we want to celebrate with them as well and have them celebrate with us.
Absolutely. And well deserved. You guys get to celebrate. You should celebrate a lot. You've got a lot to celebrate. It's
We've
phenomenal.
been doing it all year.
Yeah, good. As you should. So tell me a little, becoming a sister is not, filling out a job on Indeed and applying and maybe you get it. This is a lifelong commitment. Can each of you touch briefly on how this came about in your life and what made you sign on to be a sister?
Sign on, I like that word.
Sign on, yeah.
Well,
It doesn't sound too threatening.
I'll start with this one. So
Please, yeah.
I was taught by Poor Handmaids in East Chicago. I went to St. Mary's School,
Okay.
which is not open anymore, but the church is still there.
Okay.
My mother went to school there as well as a child, and so I knew the Poor Handmaids as teachers. And in fact, my first and second grade teacher is still living, and she's a Poor Handmaid. We're very good friends.
Amazing. Okay.
Sister Deanne. And so my family left the church for a while. I returned on my own as a sophomore in high school. And I had a friend that I babysat for her children, and she used to teach CCD classes, and I was always kind of enamored by her sitting at the table writing out all these lesson plans and so on.
You like that?
And then
that
my
vibe.
favorite part about being in the Catholic school was going to Mass. And we used to go every morning before school started.
Okay.
And I love singing. I'm a musician and composer. So I loved going to Mass for that reason.
Okay.
And so I really missed that when I went to a public school. But the grace of it, I didn't know at the time. I was really upset when our parents pulled us out. But I got to learn to play trumpet in a public school because they had an instrumental program, and I would not have had that opportunity in the Catholic school. They didn't,
Okay.
They didn't have that.
So
I
something good came of that
yeah,
too.
It was a blessing of it, silver lining, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I stayed with music, and when I returned in high school, one of the sisters taught me to play guitar, and that's kind of when things took off for me. And then I used to hang around the church all the time. I helped the sisters in their classrooms, and all summer long I was helping, to clean out closets and, get things ready for the coming school year. And the sisters would invite me over for supper and prayer, and they'd say, well, can you help us in the convent, wash windows, or whatever it was. I just loved being around them because of their sense of community, their sense of, they just knew, they knew how to have fun together, how to work together.
It's that fellowship of all of those things kind of
Exactly.
coming together, and that's a
Exactly,
full heart feeling. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. It's your
And
community.
then eventually they invited me out to our mother house in Donaldson, and I fell in love with the place. The grounds are just beautiful.
Oh, so
But
beautiful.
more importantly, I saw the bigger picture of community, and watched how they lived together, and how they were able to work differences out, and how they helped each other with different projects, and everybody just would lend a hand wherever, however they could, and supported each other in their efforts in their ministries and so on. And there was just something really beautiful about that to me, and spoke really to my heart. My parents, my mother was a Girl Scout leader for us, and my father was a coach for basketball and baseball. They were always doing some kind of service.
Yep.
And so I grew up in that kind of situation, and I still am very, very active in service and ministry. So that's where I learned to really focus on listening to the Spirit, and where I have been led through service and ministry, and then through a life of prayer and a life of community. So that was my draw, and now I've been doing vocation ministry for 16 years, and I work with we have a volunteer program, also vocation ministry 14, volunteer 16 years.
Okay.
And it's been a wonderful gift to us. We have women from all over the world that have come here from Panama, Greece, Curacao, just all kinds of countries. I have one coming from Italy soon. And it really brings life to our community, especially to our older sisters.
Absolutely. And that culture and the learning behind it.
We have some women that come back year after year to volunteer with us, and we just learn from each other. Lay people coming and living with us, and we sharing our life with them. It's just really a beautiful way to all of us to share our light that that we're called to share with the world, and to share God's love and to be witnesses. So
well said. I'm learning as I age that I'm a very service-oriented person. I like to serve others. I like to make other people feel good. I like that in a myriad of ways. It doesn't necessarily matter, but it sounds like that's almost like a must for this. I think you have to really identify that way as someone that's really trying to serve. And it's less about, like you said, you can't get married. That's true. But it's probably not, you're not thinking about what you can't do. It's more, I'm signing on to do these things.
It's actually a freedom.
That service, yes.
It's a freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I could definitely see that.
It has to be a passion.
Absolutely, yeah.
You have to
and
love
just
it.
really wanting to surround yourself with that fellowship and that service mentality all the time. Yeah. How about you, Sister Deb?
I think the whole thing is about, we use the word discernment. Now that sounds like a churchy word, and it is. But the whole idea is to discern, to really look at, where is God calling me? And for those who are in the Catholic Church and are looking at options for themselves, I think one of the things is, would this be right for me? So there is a rightness, because it needs to be a call. I was not called to be married. I thought I was going to have like 8 kids like my mom had, but on the other hand, it was when I saw the sisters at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish in Hammond take care of my family when my father had died much before that, and my mother died. It was like, what to do? They were so helpful in finding help for our family. My mother was a widow with 8 kids, and so they were right there making sure that our family had food. And they helped me later on, after my mother died, where to place my 2 youngest sisters, who were I was 17. I couldn't.
Yeah, same thing.
Swiss Family Robinson.
You're not an
was
adult
Disney.
at 17. Yeah.
That is not
You can't do
real.
it.
So I knew I couldn't take on my 2 youngest sisters. So they helped me find a place for my 2 youngest sisters. And so that was, for me, it was like, wow, they gave and we certainly couldn't pay them back. So it was giving without counting the cost. That's what triggered for me.
Okay.
I mean, I had gone to the high school, but it came really back to my home parish again and the generosity of the sisters there that just said, yeah, this might be right for me too. I want to give without counting the cost. And you're right,
And
it's
that-
about
yeah.
service and not
Yeah.
counting the cost. So that's where my vocation story, and we use that word, vocation story. It is my own story. Connie had her story, Sister Shirley will have her story about our particular invitation to respond to the call. So that was mine. Yeah.
Perfectly put. How about for you, Sister Shirley?
Well, when Sister Deb was saying about, listening to the Spirit, and that word obedience, that vow of obedience, is all tied into that whole concept of discernment. Because obedience, the foundation of that word, means to listen. So to listen to the Spirit of God, God speaking to you in your heart. And so for my story, I'm from Southern Illinois, so how did I ever get up here
Yeah.
to this place? Well, my sister found out about the Poor Handmaids, and she came up here to high school for a couple years. She entered the community and was in the community, and so when I came up here, I really fell in love with the place.
Okay.
And if you've been out to Donaldson, you know how beautiful it is.
I'm going to push it the whole episode. Go
Yeah.
out to Donaldson if you have not been. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I think I first fell in love with the place. And so we would come to visit her. She was learning to be a sister and all of that. And I was enamored with the high school girls because they all lived together. And I come from a family of 5, but the 3 oldest siblings are much older because my mother was married twice. And so I'm at the tail end, and I was 7 years younger than my sister. So just being around all those girls, I thought, how cool.
Yeah, because they're so much older than you that you really didn't have
Yeah,
probably a lot of that.
Right,
Yeah.
So to be around that kind of milieu all the time seemed really fun.
Absolutely.
So I
yeah.
asked my parents if I could go to high school there, which I did. And I got to know the community more and more as a result of living there and going to high school and being a part of it. And so my sister ended up leaving the community after 10 years, and then she later got married and had 4 children of her own. So I always say she was very instrumental in directing my path there.
Okay.
Of course, the call was within myself. And I grew up right across the street from our hospital in our hometown. And I was always drawn to wanting to be a nurse. And so when I went to high school, I always sort of had that in mind, that I'd like to be a nurse. I also wanted to be an airline stewardess too, but my mother said, you can't do that because you wouldn't be able to go to church on Sunday. Now, I didn't quite make the connection with that, but okay. But anyway, my heart really led me to wanting to be a nurse. And so I made a bargain with God. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I made a bargain because after high school I thought, maybe I ought to see what the rest of life is like before I do this leap.
Okay.
And so I made this bargain and I said, if I cannot find a job my senior summer, that will be your sign that I should stay out and
I think
the
answer is a lot of people do this, by the way. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people do this.
Yeah.
I completely understand this.
I'll get a job. And I got my job. I became a nurse aide at the hospital that I grew up by.
Okay.
And so that was my sign. Okay, so I did
This is the sign, this is the direction.
And this is
I'm
where
listening
I'm going.
and this is the direction.
Where I'm
Yeah,
going.
absolutely.
I'm coming back and
Okay.
I'll enter the community. And that's what I did, and I never regretted it. And I continued and went to college at Ensela College my first 2 years, and then we transferred to other universities. I got my bachelor's degree and worked in nursing for 10 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you just never know where your life's gonna go. I had my greatest goal at that moment in time was, my greatest goal was to be a head nurse somewhere. Well, I achieved that in the first 2 years, so that was over with. It's like, okay, I got to think of another goal.
Okay, yes.
But if you let yourself be led by the Spirit of God, you go in so many other amazing directions. I started
Well
counting
said.
up, and we talk about how we change frequently, so many jobs. I started counting them up. I've done 7 different things in my community
And
life.
I think that's so incredible.
So you just never know, and they all build. You transfer those skills as adults, and you move into and take on new challenges and wonderful opportunities, and it's a life of service. And for me, a lot of it has been service to our community besides.
Absolutely.
Some people say, I listen to my heart, or I
Yes,
listen to other
yes.
people. But in the spiritual sense, and we always have to come back to that.
Yes, absolutely.
That is, and I say that's the Holy Spirit leading.
Yeah.
And you might not even know that that's what's happening, and you might later on find yourself on a spiritual path. I think all of us end up there at some point.
Yep,
It's
I
a
absolutely
spiritual
agree.
path. We might just say it's career oriented, but the career can leave you empty and baseless. So where's the base? Where's the solidity?
Yeah.
And that for us then is the Spirit. So for me, one of the things that I was led to was being open to the possibility of moving to another culture.
Yes.
And now we are looking at, on the whole congregation level, of really embracing our interculturality.
Yes.
For me, I was privileged to have 17 years in Mexico. Wow. And I worked with a group of indigenous women there, and again, the most vulnerable. But it opened doors for me, giving me the capacity to learn another language, to learn another people. And it also has broadened my heart, opened my heart to also receiving our own sisters from other cultures.
Yes.
And we are looking at how do we, as we in the United States become smaller in number, but not in passion, what does that mean for us in the future? So the idea of embracing intercultural living and recognizing that we're moving toward a oneness that, while Saint Katherina had the idea and we were all in different countries, and now we're looking at what does it mean to come back together, or first come together in one congregation. And that's a real joy for us. It's kind of scary, because what does that really mean? And what will it cost us? And in our lives, that's what it is. What will it cost me? It's not just fun responding. It's also, responding like that does come at a personal cost to say yes. And that's a joy and a challenge
Yes.
at the same time.
Yeah. And I love that you just mentioned that that you spent 17, did you say Mexico? 17 years in Mexico. Do you both have similar journeys or favorite journeys that you've had similar? Like, was that your favorite kind of, you got 17 years in Mexico. That's probably top of the list as one of your favorite experiences, I
Well,
would assume.
for my own personal growth and for my investment of the energies and the gifts that God gave me. So,
Yes,
yeah.
having all of that, yes, well-rounded. How about for you
I
too?
was just going to piggyback on when you just said gifts. I was going to piggyback on that because you never know the gifts that you're going to discover in yourself that you didn't realize you had. So when I was talking earlier about loving music and learning to play the guitar and so on, I was teaching at the time. I was a teacher for 10 years, and then I was an administrator, principal, and so on.
Okay.
And but I loved music so much. I wanted to do something with music to help other people. So I asked the community if I could study music therapy. I wasn't
Okay.
sure really what I wanted to do with it, but can I just take a class and see
Find
if I
out
like
a little
it?
more, yeah.
So I did that, and I fell in love with it. So I became a music therapist, and I did that for 10 years.
Oh, what a fun journey.
3 of it was I worked for a company in South Bend for 3 years. And then I decided, well, my last name is Bach, and with a musical name with Bach. So I started a company called Bachworks. And so then I worked on my own. I had to learn how to write I had to do a business plan and policies and procedures, and so on and so forth. But then went on my own and did that for 7 more years.
Wow.
Until I was called by community to, do some things for community. But I discovered all these gifts that I had for working with people with disabilities and other abilities
Yeah.
that I never ever saw myself doing anything like that. And another piece of that was in my studies, I had to do a practicum in hospice care, which I thought, oh, you got to be kidding me. I never thought I would ever do that.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that as well. So when I finished my schooling, for 3 years I volunteered as a hospice volunteer at Ingalls in Harvey, Illinois.
Okay.
With a friend of mine. So I fell in love with that too. So you never know where God's going to lead if you're open to discovering, or putting the time and energy into the gifts that God gives you to uncovering
And have that faith to have that and to go with it, even though you don't
Yeah,
necessarily know what
exactly.
that means or what it's going to look
And-
like.
and where
but
they're
you just
gonna
have the
lead.
faith
You
to
just
just
never
keep
know.
walking that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep listening, as you said. Yeah.
Keep listening.
Yeah.
And all those different gifts somehow come together to lead you in a direction that you don't expect. So now I'm serving on our leadership team as well, which I
You didn't see
didn't
coming.
see. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And how about for you? Yeah.
Well, I was called to our international leadership team. So I was elected. That happens through a body of the sisters delegates, and you're elected to the leadership team, which meant I moved to Germany for 6 years.
Really?
Yes. I lived right at our founding place.
Okay.
And with the other sisters, there was one other American on the team.
And
with
what's
me.
the name of the founding place? What does it have? Like
Bach, Germany.
Okay.
Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ. So you can go online and just write Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ, Germany.
And it'll come right up.
Come up.
Okay.
It'll come up. And so it's a darling little village, about an hour from west of Frankfurt and
Okay.
about an hour south of Cologne. It's about 20 minutes from where the Rhine and the Mosel connect.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a gorgeous area. And
And is the village sort of situated around the center itself?
yeah, our convent there is right in the middle of the village.
Oh,
Yeah,
gorgeous.
right. And so I was there for 6 years, although we spent the majority of our time on the road because with 9 countries, I had the privilege and grace and wonderful experience of being able to meet all of our sisters. All
Wow.
over.
Yeah, you're
all
just
over.
consistently
In all
kind of
nine
traveling
countries.
throughout
So in
all
9 countries.
Oh my gosh, because you're
Yes.
working at the main house, so it would be obviously you're going to be kind of
Yeah.
helping everybody
Yeah,
in
you're-
that sense.
Yeah, visiting
Really?
all of them, and it was just wonderful. And do I know German? Nur ein bisschen Deutsch, but that's about, only a little bit. But it was wonderful. It was just wonderful to be able to learn about our sisters and all the different ministries and works that they do and the struggles they have, because many of them are just beginning. You know, we have here in the United States 150-year presence practically that we've been here in the States, and then internationally 175. Some of them only have a 30-year history. So
Okay,
they're
20.
just beginning, or 20, just beginning to come together as a community. And then they're also discerning and looking at where are the most important needs in their areas where they are. So starting schools, well, I wouldn't call it an orphanage, but they took in street children. We have a center that did that. In India, we've been there quite a bit longer, since the early 60s in
Okay.
India. But we're all throughout all of India, north and south. And so they have schools that have 1,200 kids in them.
Really?
And
Wow.
phenomenal work that they do.
still work with lepers
Yes, yes.
and their
Really?
in their
children and
areas.
grandchildren.
Oh, yes. And so it just moves your heart, you know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
to see them working with the poorest of the poor, but also with those, you know, who have the means. You know, so we don't really distinguish
Needs are definitely different.
that,
Yeah.
but certainly we have a deep heart for the
I can
poor.
tell. Yeah. Now, and this can be for each of you to answer, or if it's a common opinion, you can tell me that too. What do you each wish that more people understood about the work that you do, or the center, or the Poor Handmaids as a whole?
I wish they would understand that we are human beings.
Okay, that's a
Because
great
there's
point.
this attitude about religious sisters or nuns or whatever language I use, it's like, well, they're off in the distance. But we're very much invested and
Yeah.
involved in real life.
Yeah, you're here and you have phones and you're out in the community and you're
And
helping
we're
people and
real
you're
people.
communicating. Absolutely, we're real
We
people.
love all the same
Yes.
things that a
Yeah.
lot of people do, you know.
Okay, that's
Love
a great point.
sports and,
Yeah.
you know, ice cream and, all the
Yeah.
simple things of life, just like everyone.
That's
like
a great
everyone
point.
else. We
I
love
feel like
being
people
with our families and
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel like, oh, you're a sister, so you don't know, you've never used the internet, and you live, over here by yourself, and you don't, and you're like, no, I'm a regular person.
We're like
this is
normal.
just my calling, and this is yes, exactly.
We're like normal.
Gosh,
Yeah.
that's a great point. And is that
Yeah.
probably what each of you feel a little bit?
Well, the other thing that I would say is they have no clue about Donaldson and what's there.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
You know, we have individuals that might live just 7 to 10 miles away and they've never been there. You know, so
Rural.
and I think they think
you're absolutely right.
you're not allowed to go there.
I bet you're right.
Because it's a convent.
Yeah.
And it's much more than that. It is that. And we invite people. We have Taizé prayer
Yeah.
services. It's open to the public. Our Sunday liturgies, that's open to the public.
You guys have
Anyone
music,
can-
you have
yeah.
art programs, you have so much that's open to the public.
Yes,
Absolutely.
ecology programs. We have beautiful grounds. Oh, my goodness.
The grounds. And
Yeah.
literally,
7
someone
different
can just go
habitats.
walk around,
Just
right?
go
Like,
walk around.
that's exactly what I had always, same thing. I was a little nervous, but knowing you all through partnerships, knowing Philip, my sister worked there for a brief time, some time ago, so I got to learn a little bit more. And then it's like, oh yeah, you can just go there.
Just go there.
And
Just
no one's going to
come.
yell at you, and you could just look around, or you can go there for a service or a concert, because it's beautiful, and I think everybody should.
You can
So
come
if they
in the
have it,
building
you're
and
right.
see the beautiful chapel.
Yeah.
Just
It's
take
not
a Sunday
some-
drive
yeah.
or a evening drive in the summer and just explore.
That's a great
Just
idea.
Drive through it if you don't want to stop.
Yeah, if you
just
don't want to stop, you
drive
can just drive through. That's okay
And
too.
that's okay.
We have greenhouses where we grow a lot of our own vegetables. We have chickens where we get a lot of our own eggs that we use in our kitchen.
Wow.
We have cows. We have our own, some of our own beef that we use in the kitchen, and
Oh my
we,
god.
we can it and call it holy cow.
yes.
That's true.
We do. It's true.
I love that.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah, you
Oh
can
my
buy holy cow, and
You guys.
it's really wonderful.
That is
Can
some great
be.
marketing.
Can
Okay,
be.
let's just say that.
That's true. Holy cow.
You even get arrested people with it.
That's right.
This is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, we at All About the Girls always like to talk a little bit about, how you do it or what's within that makes this work. And one of the things is self-doubt. How do you guys handle self-doubt when it shows up? Is that more just the listening aspect? Is it your faith that helps? I would assume is some of that answer. But how do you handle self-doubt? Like you each know, it's not seem, you do know this is your calling. You do know this is exactly where you're supposed to be. There's probably some confidence behind that because of you feel that way and you know that. How do you handle any self-doubt? Or is it not a problem?
I'm going to start with this one.
Okay, please.
Because I'm on a team of 5 now on the leadership team, and I'm the newbie. The others have been on leadership before.
Okay. So probably a little self-doubt coming into that maybe.
The first few months have been a little rough.
Okay.
You kind of like, oh, what am I doing here? And, you make mistakes here and there. But you know what? The beautiful thing about community is the support that you get. I mean, people are really so
Well put.
willing to lift you up when you're doubting yourself, or when you just are like struggling, and they're like, it takes a little time to get into this. For me, it's that sense of oneness that we really strive for in community, to be there for each other and pick each other up, and
You've got
that
those
kind of thing.
sisters
So
behind you that said, hey, it's okay, we got you too.
that's right. Yeah. Got each other's back.
Okay.
It's a beautiful gift.
That's
I think for
perfect.
For us, sometimes it's not necessarily individual doubt, but also our community doubt.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the sisters? What
As you said, if you're
fewer and fewer in number,
smaller-
and you're all getting older. So there's some doubt related to that, of course, and we who are on the leadership team are very concerned about the legacy that we will possibly be leaving in the United States. Again,
Yeah, it sounds like they're not a problem outside of the United
Correct.
States, but within the United States, those
So-
numbers aren't where you want them to be, and so that's a little scary.
right. It could be,
Yeah.
but we also know that one of our sisters, we have her famous quote. It's like somebody asked her when she left the leadership role, so what do you think the future is going to be? And her response is, I don't know, but it's going to be great because God is in charge and God is there.
I
with
love
us.
that.
And that is so true. And we do know that, and it might bring tears for our own leaving this world, but we also know that there's a legacy that will go on beyond us. And so we're really working toward what could that be? And what is it that we, who are here yet,
Right.
what do we want to leave for the future? And we have a responsibility for the lands. You heard about how many,
Oh my
how
gosh,
many-
yeah.
our acreage and whatnot. And we want to be able to leave this place, leave Donaldson. You've heard about how beautiful it is, but it's more than just that. It's also the ministries that are there, like Maria Center, like our relationship with Marian University, like Lindenwood, like Illuminata House, which is our house of prayer, and not Earthworks. We don't have that anymore, but that we have Moon Tree, and how do we shape that for the future? That's where we might have some doubts.
Okay.
But we also know that in holy obedience, we will listen to the Spirit as the Spirit leads us forward. And we have people that are partnering with us. We are not in it alone. So that's also the real blessing. And Sister Connie referred to our tagline, which is under our logo. Our logo is that of a cross on a rippling pool of water. The whole idea that Christ has made an impact in our lives, and that impact we can't keep to ourselves. It just ripples out,
ripples.
and it continues to ripple out.
I love
As a
that.
ripple would do that.
Okay.
But underneath that logo, it's partners in the work of the Spirit. And so we know that we don't do it alone. We're not that naive.
Yeah.
We're very aware that this will continue beyond our personal presence here.
Isn't that wonderful and exciting? Because who knows where life, will lead. And I think anytime there's that sense of doubt that sometimes comes in, I don't care who you are. I think you're lying to yourself if you wake up and say, I never have any doubts. I know I do sometimes, I can be overwhelmed with the responsibility of it all.
Absolutely.
But I always know who I have that's holding my hand.
Yep.
Jesus Christ is right there, and He is the love of my life, and He supports me. He's my rock. He is my rock. And I'll just say this. I have, years ago, that rock was always my foundation. Christ is my rock. And at one time I thought, well, God, we put these male and female titles on God. Jesus Christ, of course, was a man. But who is God? How does God look? And I kept thinking, well, if God is all being, what would a feminine image of God look like? And so one time I was in retreat. And I was sitting there and I thought, okay, my director told me, okay, just sit with that image. What would you imagine as the feminine image of God for you? So I'm sitting in the chair and I'm rocking, rocking this mother image of maternal
I
mother
love this. I have goosebumps. I love this so much.
rocking me in her arms.
Okay.
And so that combination of the powerful strength of the rock
Sure.
and that gentleness of the mother and pulling that together of an image of God.
It's one of the best ways I've ever heard that put. That's very well, perfectly said.
So it was just so exciting. So whenever I have those doubts, I just call on, that parental image of both ways, because, it has been a wonderful image calling forth, of putting aside all of that and knowing that you can trust. It's okay. I've got you. It's like the saying today, I got you, girl.
Yeah.
I've got you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we were newbies, becoming sisters, we had a 5-day retreat. And silent, 5 days. We had never done anything like that before.
Oh my
We were going
gosh.
bonkers at 2 days, and they finally gave us a break. because
Within
we
it, like
needed it.
middle way,
Yeah.
you're halfway, you can get an
Yeah.
hour to talk or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's okay. You gotta
Okay.
start somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe we'll
You
take
know?
like a 1 or 2 day,
You know?
and then because if you guys were going bonkers at 2 days, I can't believe I'm going to be any different. Okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
A funny story is that Sister Shirley was my novice director down in Cincinnati,
Okay.
and I'm a pretty on-the-go busybody
Okay.
all the time. And novitiate was supposed to be, quiet year, you're supposed
Right.
and I was supposed to have a 30-day retreat. I didn't. I had an 8-day retreat.
Okay, 30. I couldn't even
No.
imagine.
But anyway, there were days when I was just like beside myself. Does anybody want to go play basketball? Does anybody want to go whatever? And she said, you really need to learn to appreciate this quiet time like this, because once you're finished with novitiate, you're not going to have this kind of time anymore.
Okay.
And boy, was she right, because there's just
Now you're always on the go.
yeah, it's nonstop. So
Yeah.
I've learned to really appreciate the quiet time now, because
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen very much. So just being
Yes.
present
Yeah,
to
being
God.
present is
You know,
such a yes.
with any relationship, you have to spend time with the person to build that relationship, and we have to build our relationship with God by spending time with God too.
Absolutely.
We start our meetings with putting our feet on the floor. Whoever's leading, put your feet flat on the floor, be present in the room, be grounded, and then we start with deep breathing.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
the
Every
slow
meeting you guys
inhale,
do.
We're doing this more and more now. Just inhale to the count of 4. Just hold that.
Look, I'm
breath
doing it
inside of
automatically. I
you.
was like, okay, feet on the floor.
Hold that breath inside of you and exhale to the count of 4 or even 8. Just a slow exhale, and repeating that just to stop. Even right now, we have a bunch of words, and just to stop and breathe. Yeah.
Absolutely. We need that. We need a lot more of
And
that. It's
that
good
whole-
for our brain.
Yeah,
breathe.
that whole process, even our churches, our Catholic Church right now has been in this what's called synodal process. It's a way of each of the dioceses listening to all of the parishioners in their diocese and having roundtable conversations about what are the needs, where are you in your life, what's happening, what's happening in our church, what needs to be fixed, how do you see the church today? All of those questions are being asked. And the process, we as religious women have used this kind of process for many years now already, but also just to take that time to really listen collectively in the quiet together, so that you're attentive again to oneself, and then hearing each person. Because just as an example, the 3 of us are pretty high extroverts. And and so we have to
I didn't
also
notice.
settle down and really be attentive and to hear what the person is really saying. And like you said, what are they not saying? But unless you're attentive to them, you're not picking it up. So there's that whole process of how do we collectively truly listen. And again, that's that word obedience. That's what that means, to really listen and hold that other person and ourselves in that same kind of reverence with God, to know where are we being called individually and collectively in our lives.
And without the quiet, you don't hear it.
You don't hear it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think one of my, probably over the last year, one of my mantras, if you will, is at first do nothing. Because I think we are in this fast-paced world where go, 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 go. And so we have to make a decision because it's coming at us. And so we just have to shoot it back out at the same speed. And I felt like you're almost just throwing the ball on automatic. So I've really just tried to, at first I'm doing nothing. I'm going to pause. I'm going to sit with whatever it is. And I'm going to think about it a little bit. And then I'm going to do nothing because I'm going to come back to it later. And then that's probably when I've digested it a little bit. The initial emotions are gone, so you can make a real kind of strong decision without the emotion base on it, without any initial frustration or excitement on either direction. It's all a little more even keel. Is that first do nothing. And I think same, it brings a little quiet to that situation. I don't have a lot of quiet in my brain very much, but I think it brings some quiet to that situation, and it helps me kind of, all right, we don't have to do anything right now, and let's just remember that, because I think it is, everything's, the rate at which we're receiving information via people, screens, news, sound, all of it is just so fast that let's just pause.
Yeah,
And I think we need to
living
do
in
more
this
of that.
instantaneous world
Yes.
that really pushes you into a frenzy of chaos.
Yeah.
Sound
And
bites.
then we are
And that's not what we're
our
built
best,
for.
We're not our best selves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Like, we're not built for that. We're not built to intake all of this information and screens and all the things. It's just not. And I love that we're adaptable as humans, but I think our best selves is not that person. And so you got to slow it down a little bit. And yeah, I'm learning these things. I think probably at 40, I started becoming a little wiser and trying to calm it down a little bit, because I've been probably, hyperactive my whole life and just running, and, who needed sleep in my 20s, and we just go. And now let's just enjoy the moment and be quiet and enjoy outside. And, me and my husband found ourselves sitting in our garage with the door up on chairs watching the storm the other day. And I'm like, well, we're 80. But I loved it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe 80 people year olds do this. We should be too. We just don't, because we're not wise enough yet to remember that we need to do these things. And I was like, you know what? We're in our 40s, but I like this.
Yeah. And
We
to
need
remember
more-
what that feels like and smells like.
Yes.
And looks like as it rolls in, I mean, there's just so much to experience in our world that if we don't take time to have the eyes to see it, we miss it.
Yeah, because we're
should've
looking on the
just
radar.
Gotten out there and ran around in the
Oh
rain.
my goodness. Okay, that's the next step.
Like
I
when you were
sat in
little.
it. Now let's do that. Yeah, the freedom of running in the rain is
Splash in the
something that we
puddles like
forget about.
kids.
Yes.
Shoes off. With the
Shoes off in the puddles.
In the grass. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite. I'm doing that. That's next on the list. Tell me something that you each have made space for intentionally in your life, whether that's a craft, a habit, a ritual, a pastime, a hobby. What do each of you think is something that you've intentionally set space for?
Well, one of them, I do love photography. I like taking photos. I'm not a photographer, I wouldn't say, but I do enjoy doing that.
Okay.
Of course, now with being part of leadership, I sort of set that aside. But one thing that I have not let go of is a commitment to my book club.
Ooh,
I belong
good.
to a book club.
Okay.
And so I enjoy doing that. It pushes me into a realm of
And is it
different books.
faith-based literature, or is it just anything, open
Nope.
to everything?
Open to everything.
Okay, that's fun.
We just finished the book, The Women.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the author. Can't think of it, but a woman who served in the Vietnam War as an army nurse.
Oh,
And,
interesting.
and then went over, served, and came back. And of course, her readjustment and non-adjustment back into society here in the realm of post-Vietnam War.
Right.
And even the fact that women weren't even realized as having been in that war as well. And then coming
So
home.
not getting the credit and not getting the understanding.
Not getting the credit, not even from her father.
Ugh.
And her brother went to Vietnam and was killed. And then she signed up and he was horrified. So the book
Oh,
is
interesting.
powerful, and how the system at that time did not even have services for women who returned. She'd go to the Veterans
And it's not-
Association, and we don't have anything for women. Sorry, bye.
Wow.
And she had to work through that whole struggle and went down into the pits and hit bottom and then worked her way back up. It's a powerful book.
Okay.
It's a powerful book.
I love that. And the book
yeah.
club's a great idea. I think that
Yeah.
same thing, it keeps you reading, which is perfect and we all should be doing, but also like the fellowship of the club and the other
Yeah.
folks, and then you get to kind of have the new experience of each book too. That's a
Yes.
good one. Yeah, how about you two?
For me, it's I do paper crafts.
Oh,
So
okay.
I make cards for our sisters. In fact, we have a sisters anniversary coming up. So we're celebrating sisters who've been in the community for 60 years, 50 years,
Wow.
one 10 years,
Okay,
and one 55.
incredible.
So I'm creating their gifts out of paper right now. So I'm making a bouquet of flowers. But I also do card
Really?
making.
Card
And they say, oh,
flowers.
Deb made a card. What is it? So
Oh,
it usually pops open or something like
cool.
that. They're just fun.
Yeah, that's really
it's simple,
amazing. I
simple.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Two things come to mind. The first is that I love to compose. I
Yeah,
don't get nearly
absolutely.
enough time to do it. I don't take the time to do it. Right now I'm working on a song for 175th. I should
That's
have it done by
neat.
next week. I have
Okay.
Pressure's on.
I know. I have a
This
refrain
hobby
done.
is getting really difficult.
Yeah, I have a refrain finished. I'm working on the verses. But what I really love to do, I have a puppy. Well, she's not a puppy anymore. She's 4 years old. And I love to take her over to where our senior sisters live and really
therapy.
Yeah, sort of. She's not really.
yes.
She's not really trained as a pet therapy dog, but she brings all
Brings all the
love
therapy.
To,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and she's really grown on them, and they love having her around, and it's
Oh,
really
I love
great.
She's
that
a
one
natural.
too.
She's just a natural.
Yeah.
Lover of
I love,
humans.
I
Yeah.
love taking her over and and actually she stays in a room in one of the connected buildings, and a lot of the co-workers and sisters go and play with her all day long, so I never have to
Oh
worry
my
about her.
gosh, yeah, this is like the ultimate puppy sitting. Everyone sits together, and now it's like the happiest
Yeah.
dog in Toyland.
Yeah, so
That's amazing.
That's true. Peanut is her name.
Peanut is her name.
And then if you think about the opposite of that, what is something that you've given yourself permission to let go of
Oh,
or not make time for? That's harder because I don't think we let ourselves let go of much. You know what I
can say
mean?
that. For me, I also composed music and played the guitar. I had to let go of it because I was leaving Mexico, and I left my guitar with the two younger sisters. I've given them guitar lessons, so they were able to take it on, and it was a joy to see one of the young women on Facebook. She was playing the guitar, singing a song in Spanish that I had composed, and so that was a joy to let go of. Actually.
Okay, it was
But
like, I'm gonna let go
arthritis-
so you don't have to.
But arthritis was also the compelling reason. But it was a joy to pass that on then.
That's
and to
beautiful.
see
Yeah.
that happening still. But that was a hard let go.
You miss it, but
Yeah, I
worth
can't
it
do
in
it
the end.
anyway, but
Yeah.
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 How about for you?
but she still has a beautiful singing voice.
Okay.
And I can do harmonies for the music that she writes.
There we go. Happy medium. I like that.
I used to love to horseback ride, but I since have had back surgery and I can't.
Oh,
do it
yeah.
anymore.
The horse and the back surgery
No,
is
it
not
doesn't
going to
go
play well together.
So
No,
that,
absolutely
that was a
not.
big loss. But I
Okay.
still down in Culver there are the Academy. Culver
Mm-hmm.
Academy has some horses, and they had them out in the field the other day. I took a great picture. There were 30 of them out there.
Oh,
all different colors.
amazing.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
Okay, yeah. So
So
you get
I
some
still-
exposure still, but just not on
Yes.
top of the horse.
Yeah.
Nah, not
Okay.
riding.
Okay.
Not riding.
And how about for you?
I'd say two things. One, I mentioned that I do love taking photos, and one of our sisters had done that previously, and they would be made. She'd make them into cards to sell, and we'd sell them in our bookstore in Lindenwood. And then I sort of followed suit with her and started doing some of my own cards, and I really love doing that. But with my schedule now, I find little time for
Yeah.
that. So I had to let go of that, but that's only temporary.
Okay.
But the other thing I think I have really tried to let go of is the stress of, or becoming stressed by, what's ahead.
This is
Because
great.
as we look and plan forward, or even like this week, what's on our agenda.
Oh my God.
We have a couple meetings coming up, and they're saying, well, what's the agenda? I'll get there. It'll be there by tomorrow. We'll have it.
Okay. Yep.
And I really have tried to be conscious about letting go of that kind of stress, because I'm not my best self when I do that, when I get totally overwhelmed.
I love that. I think
She
that
does
a
a good
lot of
job
people
at
could
that,
do.
though.
Yeah.
She does a really good job at saying, okay, not right now.
I'll get there.
You'll get there.
I'll get
You'll get
get
the
it.
agenda.
It'll be before the
When you
meeting.
get
It'll
the
all be
agenda.
well. It'll all be
Okay.
well worked out.
Yeah.
That's good because I think we do, and probably I think human nature, but women especially, we put this pressure on ourselves where somebody asked, therefore I have to fulfill that need right now, and I'm really bad for that. It's kind of the at first do nothing has helped me with that a little bit, but it's tough because it's I always want to fulfill everyone's expectations. Like if you're thinking you should have it now, then I want to give it to you now, even though maybe it's not a need and it's 2 days early and we don't need that for whatever it looks like. I just immediately feel the responsibility. So to be able to turn that off a little bit or turn it down a little bit is really powerful.
Yeah, because I think you can just send yourself into a frenzy and become overwhelmed and then burn out. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big piece of burnout. And yeah,
Or do it right now because you feel like you have to, and then it's not its best. You're not your best. Now you're frustrated, and it's a B- versus an A+ because you just didn't have the time and you were frustrated and not in the right mindset. And I think that's really hard to overcome sometimes. So just not getting there in the first place is really good.
yeah.
Any lesson that you learned through that you could pass along on how to do that well? Is it something you tell yourself? Is it just it doesn't have to be now, so I'm going to move on? It's on the list. I'm not going to worry about it.
It's a little bit of all of that.
Okay.
And-
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess in your head, knowing you do need time and calculating, I think you learn that, I think, over a lifetime. You know, what can you do? What can you not do? What can you put aside? What can you wait? You know, and sometimes I do have to say, oops, I goofed.
Yeah.
You know,
and
I'm
that's
not
okay too.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm
we're
not
human.
perfect. Or, well, we didn't get this done now. We'll get it done another time. I mean,
Okay.
priority is a priority. That's
Right.
different. But sometimes I think we put unrealistic expectations on ourselves, just like you said, as women. I think a lot of us do that. And trying to bring that balance to our life, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you're so caught up in the doing, and don't say what really makes sense here.
I feel like that's when we get into those moments where we're not present
Yeah.
and we're rushing through things, and then the day gets done and you're like, man, I had lunch with my best friend and I barely remember it because I sent 3 emails, but I checked those off the list, but am I better because of that? No. And I think you're right. It's funny. Like it takes a lifetime to get to know ourselves, which is funny because then, you know, the life's over and it's just getting good.
Right.
But I think that is what it is we need to learn through those to be better and be more present, and that helps us enjoy every single moment a little bit more. Yeah.
I think humor is so important. And you gotta have a sense of
Oh, yes.
Did you see that? We both pointed to her.
sister.
and you gotta have a sense of humor, because when Sister Shirley was talking about, you know, burnout, I was thinking, yeah, you don't want to make an ash of yourself.
You're fantastic.
But-
That was good. That was
but
good.
That's one of the things that we as a group recognize gifts and talents in each other. And one of the gifts that I know I bring is lighten up, girls.
Ugh.
Sometimes we just get
Yes.
so driven. It's like, okay, we need to calm down.
Yeah.
And just, it doesn't mean we're making fun of what we have to do, but just to take the
Yeah.
edge off a little bit.
And she actually does that.
Okay,
Calm
that's
down.
good. I love
That's
that.
her little,
No, you
her
need
little mantra for us.
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, it'll get done and it's time.
We just need to breathe and
Take it-
not
yeah.
forget that, life's too short to stress that much. And then what matters in an emergency, right? If we think back to the pandemic or we think back to anything terrible that's happened in our life, if something bad happened right now, what would really matter? Almost none of it.
No, I have a
Almost
friend who
none of
says,
it.
100 years from now, all new people. It puts us in our own reality.
I love that so much.
Hello.
All new people.
All
Like,
new
they're-
people. 100
We're all gone, folks. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, exactly. That's,
a
you're
get
absolutely
real.
right. It's a
Yeah.
get
It's a
real.
get real.
Mhm.
And what's your line about the muddy, mushy,
Oh,
murky?
yeah, a lot of times we're in the muddy, murky middle.
Okay.
You know, and we just sort of learned recently that the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly,
Okay,
when it's in that chrysalis,
Yeah.
the scientific term is the goo or the soup of the chrysalis. That's a scientific
I
term.
did not know that.
And the whole caterpillar dissolves into
Completely.
this goo.
Before a butterfly.
And the DNA rearranges itself.
Did not know
And,
this.
Oh, it's fascinating.
You have
There's
to look it up.
videos.
Okay.
Yeah, on this. And then it reshapes itself. I mean, a lot of times, and for us as women religious, and what we're all about with our ministries and how we move forward, we're sort of in the goo of it all.
Yeah,
you
well
know?
said.
And that's okay.
And what a perfect correlation.
Because we really want to be either scooting along or we want to be able to fly. And sometimes we're just neither one.
Yes.
We're in the goo. And
Trying to
it's
figure it all out.
okay.
The murky,
It's
muddy
okay.
middle. Okay, I like that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay.
and you when you're not a caterpillar anymore, you're something totally different. That's what transformation is. You're something totally different than what you.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a really, really great point.
Mm-hmm.
So we always love to give out shout outs. Those women in your life that have changed you, shaped you, made you who you are, made you change in some way. Who are those ladies for you? Who are the women in your life that have really made you who you are today? Or really impacted you?
I quoted Sister Conrad earlier.
Okay.
She's the one who said, I don't know what the future's going to bring, but it's going to be great.
Okay.
Because God's in charge. She was the novice director that I did not like.
Okay.
She was really strict, heavy on discipline, and I needed the discipline, but I was not there. But later on in my life, I came to appreciate her as a mentor, and that was one of her sayings.
I love that saying
that's
too.
my
That's your
shout-out. Sister
okay.
Conrad.
Okay, I love that.
Mine would be Sister Kathleen
Okay.
now. She's one of our oldest. We have two that are 97 years
Oh
old.
my goodness, wonderful.
And she helped found Sojourner Truth House in
Okay.
Gary.
Oh wow.
She helped found that with
Amazing.
Sister Joan. And she was a phenomenal woman. She was the executive of our health system when we had all of our hospitals. I lived with her both when I was a nurse and she was in administration, and then on leadership team together when I was younger. And she was so creative and yet very balanced in organizing to actually get something, a ministry going. So she was sort of the brains behind Sojourner Truth. Sister Joan had the idea and the concept, and the two of them together. And then she also created what we had that was called Nazareth Home, and that was for compromised infants that came from the courts.
A foster placement.
Foster placement for
okay.
compromised infants. So she conceived of that and started that program. So she is just an amazing woman. And one of our other sisters and I were able to take her to the walk last Saturday.
Oh wow.
And she was there. She was just in her glory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And how about for you, Sister Connie?
Oh gosh, this is tough. I have two. The first would be my oldest sister, Roberta, who's deceased. She was a nurse at Saint Katherine's in East Chicago for 40 years, mostly in oncology.
Oh wow.
And she was somebody I always looked up to. She was oldest, I was the youngest, with two in the middle. And we were extremely close, and she also had an incredible heart for service. And so she would be my first go-to. My second go-to would be one of our other sisters, Linda Volk. She is an incredible woman. She's the kind of woman that no matter what she's doing, if you walk in, she stops what she's doing and gives you her full attention, and always has the right thing to say in the moment. And she's an incredible listener and an incredible wise woman, and a heart of gold. And she writes incredible documents for our community that keep us moving forward.
Okay.
Really visionary, and she's incredibly in tune with the Spirit and where we need to be going, and has a way of moving us in
Amazing.
the right direction.
And we're celebrating her 60 years this year.
Yeah.
Oh wow, incredible. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So you guys have those ladies for sure.
So many.
Yeah.
You could name many.
I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. And tell me a little bit. So How, as you think of those women, it probably had an influence on the answer to this question. How do you try to lift others as you rise? As you guys rise into leadership, or you change your role within the center, or whatever that looks like, as you grow, as you rise, how do you try to bring others up with you?
Wow.
I do.
I'm gonna answer
Yeah, sorry, that's a big
I start
question.
with Sister Conrad, and she's in heaven. That's my belief. And I think that to look at, and the quote was that about the future, that realizing our reliance 100% on God, knowing that what this future is going to be is in God's hands. We all have a part, and mine is just really a small part of the big plan. And sometimes I think I'm in charge. and her leadership has reminded me, you are not in charge. You have a little part to play. Do your part well. So I need to do my part well. Whatever the well is, whatever is the now that I am facing and that we are facing. So one of my nows is not only in the congregation, but I'm also the power of attorney for two of my siblings, one of whom has advancing Alzheimer's. And so walking her to the next stages of her life also gives me the privilege of doing that very same thing with our own sisters, many of whom are on the path. And we have one sister that is in hospice now, and accompanying Sister Pat and my own Sister Pat at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a
That's a
gift from God,
great,
yeah.
great, yep. That's a great answer. Absolutely.
Yeah. My two Pats.
Your two paths, yeah. I would say for me, it's trying to, as the leader of the congregation here in the United States, trying to just bring hope and encouragement to all of the workers in our ministries, assuring them that what they do, which is absolutely amazing, the different types of work that they all do and are engaged in, and
Building that confidence within them. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
That's
and
huge.
just, on behalf of all of us as sisters, to bring that hope, that encouragement for the people who live with us, the lay senior individuals, to assure them of this wonderful place that they can live in and enjoy.
Yeah.
There's so many
It's amazing.
opportunities for seniors,
Yeah.
out there between the college and Lindenwood and
Yeah, and
Moontree
sharing
and
all of that.
Illuminata. Yeah, there's just so much besides the programs that they do. The staff does themselves for the residents. So, for all of that, it's just trying to be that voice of hope and encouragement.
Well said.
So for myself, the past 6 years, I've had the opportunity to work with our food ministry, which we feed. Well, we started off with about 165 people every Tuesday and Thursday, at two local hotels. One has since been closed, but when we had our chapter, which is our governing body, when we make decisions about our future. At our last chapter, we made a vision statement, and at the end of our vision statement, we said that we wanted to be catalysts for just transformation in the places where we live and minister, especially among the poor and vulnerable. And so that ministry with the most poor and vulnerable among us in Plymouth, we not only feed them, but we really try to give them a hand up, not a hand out. And so we help people find jobs. We help them with housing, electrical bills, sometimes medical equipment or medicines that they can't afford. Just any way that we can find to help them get themselves back up on their feet again.
Yeah.
And I am always really moved because so many times people will come back after they've gotten up back on their own. And they'll come back and, they might, say, Sister Connie, here's a $20 bill, use it for food for somebody that needs it here. Or we might be, passing out food and somebody will say, Sister Connie, I'm okay right now, give it to somebody else that needs it more.
Yeah.
Or whatever it might be. So, and they really have formed a community themselves now and help one another as well. So
And that's probably what it's all about,
that's
really.
right.
Yeah.
And then there's another group that I work with in Culver, not very far from our mother house. It's called Lift. It's a group of women who are entrepreneurs, but they give of their own time, and it's called Lift to Lift Women Up.
Okay,
and so,
I love that.
I work alongside them. They've invited me to be a part of their group, and we do all kinds of curriculum with them to help support them. So I did a class on building confidence and resilience, and then others have done courses on how to avoid scams and how to get a checking account and how to build credit and how to feed a family on a budget and all those kinds of things that some people just have never had the opportunity to learn.
Yeah,
for whatever reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so how to choose a good partner, just basic things. And so it's been a really great opportunity to work with women and try to lift them up, just like you're doing with All About the Girls.
Yeah, and I think each of all of your ministries, I think, could be an answer to that question too,
Yes.
because each of them, you're absolutely right. Each of them are lifting others and bringing folks up, and some of them predominantly women, but all of them are humans in general. We're lifting them up, and I think that's really great. Yeah.
One of the sad stories at the hotels is that a lot of them come from right out of jail or right out of prison, and they're literally dumped at the hotels with an ID card from the prison or jail.
How? Yeah.
And a card,
No one can do that well.
and a card with $400 on it, which isn't even 2 weeks of rent.
No.
And the clothes on their backs from when they were arrested. And then they're supposed to make it on their own.
And what if you don't have family and friends? And,
That's right.
Or what if they're not nearby?
That's right.
Or they don't have
And
the
that
means
happens
themselves.
in so many
Absolutely,
cases.
I bet it does.
Yeah, but the one story I would like to share with you is that there was a particular person who was turning 65, and so we were able to get that person on Social Security. And once that person figured out how to do that, now that person, I can say, if somebody comes and says, Sister Connie, I don't know how to do this. I need to get on disability, or I need to get on, and I'll say, go to room 134, talk to this person, and that person
they'll
will
help
get them
you.
on it. And I can't even tell you how many people have been helped by this one individual, because that person was lifted up, and now
lifting others.
That paying
yeah,
the paying
that
forward
is so huge.
wonderful.
Yeah,
The
it's
ripple
so-
effect.
Yes,
ripple
it's your
effect,
ripple
that's
effect. Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
That's
just-
what it's all about.
Yeah, making a difference. Just helping one person changes.
Yeah, and helping that one can help really thousands
many,
in the end of the
that's right.
day. But you've got to help the one first. Yeah. And maybe this is this next question. I swear we're going to get to these quick response ones too. But this next one, you can look at it as for your own or as Poor Handmaids as a whole. What impact do you hope that your work and your life leave behind? Which is a big one.
I think that anyone has the capability also to do what we do, but it is doing what we just said. And we don't do all this work ourselves.
Right.
One thing we didn't talk about is we have associates, individuals, men and women, who also feel called by that same spirit of our foundress, Saint Katherina, and they partner with us. And they do what they do in their world, and their families and their work and their ministry and their volunteering or whatever it is, and they continue that ripple. It just keeps going out.
Okay.
So this is going to go beyond us. We have another group that's called Fiat Spiritus. That is another group of lay men and women. They take a vow, but a lay vow. In a sense, they don't take the same one we do. They remain in their lives. They could be married, they could be single,
Whatever that life looks like is
whatever
fine.
that
Okay.
is. And they also carry that same spirit of our foundress and live that out in
Okay.
their lives.
That's great.
And it's a wonderful way that we never know how the Spirit is going to move in this world. And the Spirit has moved through them. We have how many? 150 associates, I think, here in the United States. Plus, we have associates in our other countries. So they're all also spreading the same work.
Yeah.
It doesn't end with, it's not a be-all of us.
Sure.
It's all part of the work of Jesus Christ
Of
in
the
this
whole-
world.
Right.
And how do we help lift up others, you know, to
Yeah.
be their best selves as well.
Perfectly put.
I would say the work of justice, especially as it pertains to care for creation right now and care for our brothers and sisters who are in such dire need around the world, immigrants and those in war-torn countries, and just the plight of people in horrible situations where there's no food and there's just so many needs around.
Yeah.
But just if people could do, you know, just one thing to make the world a better place, you know, there's so much need out there, and everybody can do one thing to,
Absolutely.
you know, address whatever situation is, you know, that tugs at their heart.
Yeah, we always say, like, if everybody donated $1, if everybody donated their time, if everybody, and it's this similar sense, like, let's all keep doing what we're doing and pushing this forward and helping one another. And if we all help one another, then we all help one another. And
Really,
I
just
think
that
that's
sense of
important.
compassion for not just people, but for animals and all of creation,
And not just our family, but the people in different countries and the
That's
people
right.
in different parts of the world. And everything living and every being and all of that. And everybody matters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so much revolves around that whole understanding of sometimes we get caught in preconceived ideas of who someone is or what about their life or something, and we have no clue, you know, until you walk in that other person's shoes, you know, until you get out of yourself to connect with someone else who might be different than what you think. You never know what kind of beautiful connection can be made, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a real lesson for us as sisters, that our internationality has taught us so much about that. And we're still learning what that's like, you know, and to appreciate the divergence of and the diversity and the color of the beauty of different cultures.
Yeah.
And how, you know, that's really what this country was founded on.
Getting back to our
We're
roots.
all
That's
immigrants
exactly-
here,
yes,
except for
yes.
the Native Americans, so the indigenous Americans. So it's just, you know, there's so much color to enjoy in this world if we only just take the courage and the trust to engage.
Yeah.
To engage.
A few years back, we sponsored a family from Cuba while they were working on, you know, getting their green card and so on, and now they live in Florida and they're doing very well on their own. And
Oh,
it
that's
was
going to feel so good
Yeah.
to see that success. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
Did they hit it, or did you have something to add?
I just want to add one thing, and that
Absolutely.
is that we use the word charism, which is not really an out there kind of thing. Most people think of the word charisma, and it's not unlike that. So Saint Katherina had the charism of listening first and then responding to the need. And that's one of the things that Sister Shirley was mentioning, the associates and the members of Fiat Spiritus community. All of us we have that charism in our own lives, that we listen first and then respond. Now, some of that responding is doing,
Sure.
and some of it's not doing at all, it's being.
Yeah.
So, but it's and we were giving Saint Katherina that sense of attentive ear and courageous heart.
Okay.
So some of that courageous heart finds itself in advocacy. Right now we have some of our sisters, and our Maria Center resident is doing citizenship work. So they're assisting those who are wanting and are able to. They're moving from green card to getting their citizenship. So that's a whole new way of responding to the migrant, to the person coming to us and wants to be part of this culture.
Yeah.
And so it is a new open door for us, is doing that citizenship work. But that's listening to what's the need now
Exactly.
and how do we respond.
Okay.
And some of that is just being present with them and helping others walk through the flashcards or whatever is
Yeah.
necessary to prepare for the citizenship test. And we learned today how many, 9 million?
9 million individuals here in the United States are eligible for citizenship.
Really?
And they need help getting there.
But they just, yeah.
And so that's one new help that we've recently stepped upon or
Fulfilling the need
fallen
because the
over,
need is there.
you know,
Yeah.
because of that's what the need is right now, right where we
That's
are.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a catalyst for change,
Mm-hmm.
right where we are. And so our sisters are doing that. And
That's amazing.
not just our sisters, one of our Maria Center residents says, hey, I can do that too. I'm bilingual. You know, so
Oh, let me help.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
so it's a real gift, that listening
that.
and responding.
Yes, yes. Everyone should think a little bit more about that and just.
You better watch it. You might be recruited to be an associate.
Oh, listen.
Or the listeners, those who are
I
listening.
love to listen.
Yeah.
Or everybody listening. I mean,
that's right.
exactly that. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys ready for the quick response
Oh,
questions?
boy.
Boy.
So since there's 3 of you, this is going to be a little different. But what we'll do is I'll go Sister Connie, Sister Deb, Sister Shirley. So we'll go
Okay.
here.
Oh,
5
boy.
seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Answer. They're super fun questions.
Okay.
Or
We
you
have
get
5 seconds to
5
answer?
seconds each, or you get buzzed.
Ugh.
Okay. Are you ready?
Oh, we're each going to answer that, or?
Yep. You can each
Okay.
answer it. Or is it easier
Oh,
if I just give you
no,
each
I like
one?
when you said Sister Connie and then answer this question.
Okay. All right. What's your
Time-wise,
go-to
too.
hype song when you need to feel unstoppable? This is a great one for her.
Yeah, it is.
That song, I am unstoppable. I can't
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, who does that song? I don't know, but you're right. That's a song.
Yeah, it is a song.
And it was like 4 seconds, so you didn't
Okay.
get buzzed. That was good. That was good. I love that. Okay, now, what's a food you'll never get tired of?
Oh my gosh, avocados.
Oh, nice one. Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Oh, night owl.
Really? I'm in bed by 9. I love that. If you have a personal assistant for one task in your life, what would you delegate instantly?
Oh man, I got
House cleaning.
Oh, good one. I know someone. Last show you binge watched in one weekend.
Oh my God, Bridgerton.
Oh, good one. I love this. See, going back, you're just like everyone else,
I'm
right?
like a normal person.
She loves Bridgerton too, okay? What's a hobby you love to be amazing at but refuse to practice?
Hobby.
That you
Hobby.
refuse to practice.
Yeah. Golf?
Ooh, I was a hand on the buzzer, hand on the buzzer.
Really?
That was good.
What was the question again?
A hobby you
No, that could be the answer. What hobby would you love to be amazing at but refuse to practice? Because
Yeah.
golf takes a lot of practice,
Yeah, it
too.
takes a lot of practice. And the one time I went golfing with my brother-in-law, he said, "You swing that like a baseball bat."
Yeah, me too.
And that was the
Oh,
last time.
yeah.
I played
I
baseball.
understand.
I couldn't get the ball.
If you could teleport anywhere right this second, where are you
Teleport?
going? Yep.
Teleport.
Teleport.
Ooh.
Hawaii.
Ooh, good one.
That I would say the same thing.
What's a quote or phrase you say way too often?
You've heard it already.
Ah,
You've
yes.
heard it already.
What is your I don't care if it's basic, I love it item or trend? Like that thing that everyone's like,
Item
oh,
or
that's old
trend.
school, or that's.
Yeah. Hmm.
Can I tell you what I
See?
think one of your answers could be?
Yeah, what?
Is a book.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
one likes
yeah,
books anymore. They want to
yeah.
read on a Kindle or a
I
phone
can-
or
well, I have
something.
a
She
Kindle
does that.
Do you? Oh, you're
That's how
both.
she reads the
Okay,
book. It's on
okay, okay.
Kindle.
So book
Yeah.
club is Kindle
It's
or
both.
book. It's both. Okay,
Kindle
so
club.
maybe not.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I don't care if it's basic. I love it.
I love it. You have my answer, right, Connie?
I just think it's funny. I'm asking Sister Shirley about something being basic. I'm like, okay, Sister Shirley, when you answer, if you could hair flip at the same time, I'm just kidding.
I used to do that really with my
Yeah.
long hair.
I don't know. My
What were your
hairstyle? What?
Okay.
I was gonna say CD player, but
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
You do that
good
anymore.
one.
No,
okay.
my CD. I was going to say that, my CD player.
Okay, you like
Yeah.
your CD player. You know,
Yeah,
I
'cause
just
I have
realized.
CDs.
Yeah, I just got a new car 6 or 8 months ago, and I just the other day was like, you know what? I don't have a CD player. It's
I
not
know,
in cars
I know.
anymore.
I
It's
hate
not a
that.
thing. I know. I like, I'm fine with that. Spotify or whatever, but sometimes I do.
I want
yeah.
my John Denver CDs.
I have a thing. I want to listen to this CD and I want to listen to it front to back, and it's just like, I don't know
Because
how
who
to
has
do that.
time
on
to put
Spotify.
that on whatever you put it on today? I don't know.
Now you gotta like find it on Spotify, but I
Don't
don't know if it's gonna be there. And
MP3
is it,
players anymore.
no,
I
yeah,
know,
it
none of
literally
that
is
stuff.
all just like cloud-based
really-
music, and
Yeah.
it's tougher. That's a good one. Dream dinner guest, living or dead. Who is it?
Dinner guest. Patti LaBelle.
Ooh, good one. If I could be so stereotypical, I thought she was going to say Jesus, but and I think that because it wasn't too long ago that Jesus was someone else's answer. So I feel like that's a good
Patti
one.
LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle is a
Awesome singer.
perfect answer.
Mine would have been Oprah.
Ooh, Oprah's another good one. Yeah. What app do you open on your phone more than you'd like to admit?
YouTube, and I listen to on YouTube the prank phone calls on one of those shows that are
Like
on.
Crank Acres or something like that. Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
They're
Oh,
so
that's
darn funny.
fantastic.
Jubal in the Morning is what it is. So that's
Okay.
what the one I listen to
Okay.
on YouTube.
Oh, that's fantastic. I would have never guessed that in a
Prank phone
million
calls.
years.
I love
that.
those. They're
Makes
so
me
goofy.
laugh. I love it.
I'll listen to the same one and I make you listen to
Yeah,
it.
Oh, really?
Listen
She's
to
like
this.
sending
Listen to
over
this
links. Oh, that's fantastic. Last one. What's one word you hope people use to describe you in 20 years from now?
Ooh, old. Old, but young heart. Young
Young
and
at
heart.
heart.
Young at heart.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow, we didn't get buzzed.
No buzzes. Good job. You guys did fantastic.
She was generous. You were generous.
Well, there was a couple hand-on buzzers, I will say, but listen, it didn't go.
When she starts, that starts her time over there.
Yeah, exactly. She's started saying it. I just was giving her extra
Yeah,
time to say
thank
it.
you.
See? Is there anything we didn't touch on today that you want our audience to know, to hear? Obviously, poorhandmaids.org for all of the events. We'll make sure that it's linked in the notes.
And our concerts out,
Oh my gosh,
out
yes.
at
Mention now.
Donaldson.
It's a series, correct? The concert series?
No,
No.
no. This is
No.
just a
No,
one
we have
September.
two concerts. One is a concert on the lawn.
Okay.
A concert at the center. Then we'll have the one in church that Andrew organizes.
Okay,
for.
I see.
That's
Okay.
more liturgical.
Got it.
Or
One's
it's-
more kind
it's
of.
more classical music.
Okay.
Yeah, the one on the lawn is September 20th at 3. And the one that Andrew is doing that's unknown at this time also has an unknown date because he hasn't decided.
But it's in the
In-
fall. and
okay,
it'll
in the
be
fall.
It'll be in our chapel.
Winter.
Winter.
Oh,
Winter.
winter. Yeah,
Early
this is
winter.
like in December-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But-
keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah.
November, December.
Well, thank you,
Yeah, for
sisters,
seeing
so
you.
much.
This was a blast.
This was
Thank you.
fun.
Yeah, it was.
You guys out there listening, connect. Go to the site, get to one of these events. Go check out the center at Donaldson. It's gorgeous. There's a lake. There's so much to do, so much to see. The Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ. Thank you guys for being a part. Sisters, you're lovely. This group is lovely. Connect. We'll see you next month. And talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.